Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am PJ. So, move out to the country, he says. Kuhimp, he says, come out of her, my people. Move to a rural area. Live a agriculturally based lifestyle, he says. But he doesn't understand. I can't. Yeah, I'm back on that kick again. You absolutely can. You don't want to. I mean, don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. You'll feel better. You'll sleep better at night. It's not that you can't live this lifestyle. You don't want to. There's a lot of things you don't want to. I think most of you here, some of you are here just to be amused, and that's fine. But I think most of you here are preppers, right? To one degree or another. And so therefore you think there's probably a reason to prepare. Stuff could happen. It could get real. Look at this. Ready? Where's my hand? Right there. But to take the steps to really, truly prepare for what I think is probably, some of you think might be coming down the pike, that requires some serious steps, and you don't want to take them. Now, here's the thing. I'll just start out right here, lest you get defensive. It's fine. It's really fine. You'll feel better about yourself, though, if instead of saying, I would love to live like PJ lives, but I can't. Instead of saying that, you would say, that works for PJ, but that would not work for me. I don't want that. That's the thing. And realizing truth, realizing what the deal is, will go a long way to helping you there. You know, I live in a house. I've lived here on Shofar Mountain since 2012. I live in a house. I lived in a trailer, a horrible, janky $300 camper trailer. I mean, it was terrible. I lived in that for 2.5 years while we helped other people get ready to build houses and while we built our house. And then I moved into my house before it was done. And so since 2012, I've been living here. And I just got running water in my house. Hot water even. Water you can drink. I just got it. Well, who wants to live like that? Right? You don't want to. You're not willing to give up your creature comforts. You're not willing to give up the convenience that you enjoy. I call that Lion Rock up there. In order to live this lifestyle. You don't really want to. And again, that's fine. Own it. But you should live something like this lifestyle. Oh, yes, you should. If you want to truly make it, if you want to not just survive, but thrive in the coming chaos. You need to get rural. You need to get rural. That's what I mean when I say come out of her, my people. It's a nuanced phrase. It means a lot of things. You know, the verse in the Bible, one of them, it's there more than once. Come out of her, my people, lest you partake of her sins and receive of her plagues. And it's talking about Babylon, and we can go on from there. But when I use it here, when I say Kuhimp, come out of her, my people, I am saying come out of the built-up areas and move to a rural area. Now, right here, this is rural. You don't have to live this rural. You don't have to go into the middle of a patch of woods and cut down trees and build a log cabin. You don't have to. You could move to a rural town. A small town, and you know you could. You choose not to. Own it. own it. First, know thyself. Know what you want, and then be happy with it. You know, the reason, I kind of touched on this the other day. The reason, a big reason, we do things the way we do things, and I'm talking to Shofarians and me in particular, is lack of money. I mean, money's relative. But I'm here to tell you that I cannot afford to build a, 3-bedroom, 2-bath brick home, with hot and cold running water and electricity and flush toilets and all that stuff out here in the middle of this. I can't afford to do that. And so then what are my options? Don't move into the middle of this. That's an option. Build a house somewhere more reasonable, right? I could rent for sure and probably buy, if I work some things, on credit, right? Mortgage, a house in a small town or outside a small town with all the mod cons. I could do that. But I choose this. I would rather have this and miss out on the conveniences, miss out on the comfort. I mean, let's get real. Then have that comfort and not have this. But that's my choice. That doesn't mean that's your choice. I think the average person, you got to get rural, in my opinion. If you choose not to, any excuse you have for why you can't get rural, I can blow out of the water, right? But you could live away from built-up areas. And the reason I say get out of built-up areas, because they're going to be full of bad actors. People who now are not bad actors. They could be really normal people. When they think that they're up against the wall and it's the only thing they can do, they're going to act badly. And there's already bad actors. The more built up you get, the more criminals there are. And yeah, are there criminals out here? Yeah, there are. Not anywhere near the numbers per square kilometer, per square half mile. Not anywhere near that. So your chances of bumping into a bad person are much less in the rural area. Also in the rural area, people don't play. And that has a way of modifying behavior of bad people. And so the further out you get, because what do I say, right? Come on, what are the 3 things that are going to get you when this whole thing collapses and goes into chaos? Starvation, people behaving badly, and medical issues. So you got to get out. But you don't have to move out here. You could move to a rural town. The biggest excuse... people, and then you could grow a garden in your yard and you could make rural friends and you could meet somebody like me and say, can I hang out on your land? Whatever, you could work it. I certainly did. One time I moved out to the country, I thought. I lived on 5 acres and you could do a lot on 5 acres. You really can. You could do a lot on the right 2.5 acres because I did that before too. But you can't roam the woods and do that kind of thing. You're going to have to find somebody with woods who will let you do that. Around here, nobody does that. Around here, you're not trying. I hate excuses. What is the maximum effective range of an excuse? 0 meters. Just own it. But move out into a rural area. The biggest argument I hear against that is there's no jobs out there. That's not true. You just choose not to leave your current slave wage job because it's paying for your car rental and your vacation and your TV and your internet connection and all the things that you spend money on. Believe it or not, people out in the rural parts of the country work and they have jobs. Sometimes they have a couple jobs. And somehow they muddle through. and they make it. You could be one of them. But you choose not to. So again, own that. Just own it. You'll be happier if you do. Don't say I can't, say I don't want to. That's a world of difference between I can't and I don't want to. I can't is emasculating. It takes your power from you. I can't. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to is getting up there with, I ain't gonna. I ain't doing that. That's powerful. That's drawing a line. I ain't doing that. You can't make me. So I'm telling you to change the way you look at things. And if you think, if you watch, I'm quite sure that I'm not the only prepper, homesteader, whatever guy that you watch. If you look at what we do and you think, man, they got it going on. They're doing, the right things, because I think we're doing a lot of the right things. And I hear people say that. Well, I'm just here to tell you, you can do it too. You can have it also. Used to have a poster of a Green Beret, and it said your most powerful, no, it said your mind, and it looked kind of psychedelic-y. It said your mind is your most powerful weapon. Yeah. PMA, positive mental attitude. It's a thing we used to teach in SEER school. You got to maintain a positive mental attitude. You can do it. You can change your stars. You can. But the first thing is, what's the first step in the problem-solving process? Identify the problem. The first thing is you have to decide, what do you really want? Once you decide that, this is what I want, go get it. Quit making excuses. Don't worry about comfort. Don't worry about convenience. If you really want something, go get it. And if you don't want something that other people say, yeah, that's cool and we all want that, own that too. I don't want that. You think I want to live in a house with hot and cold, no hot and cold running water? Forget that. Don't say, men, my wife would never live like that. Quite frankly, most wives could very well be living like that very soon, except they won't have the systems in place to deal with it like we do. And I don't think when there's no power and electricity and water flowing through your pipes of your current home because of whatever's going on in the world, I don't think your wife in this case, or your husband or your kids or, whatever, is just going to go, that's it, I'm going to kill myself. There's no water coming out of the tap. Come on, people are resilient. People are survivors. I'm just trying to save y'all pain when it comes. I'm trying to help you, to encourage you, to motivate you to take the steps now so that you don't have to experience all that pain. That's it. I'm interested in your comments. I am. Just know if you tell me why you can't do something, I'm going to tell you why you can. I can't. The most, to me, strong excuse, and I still don't believe it's a good enough excuse, is I'm divorced, I have dual custody of my kids, and I can't take them to live in a rural area. Okay, then don't. Go move to a rural area and go to town to visit them when it's time for visitation. Bam. You can solve any problem. You just have to decide you want it. I have little patience for people who go, oh, woe is me. I have these problems I can't solve. Really? Can you not solve them, or do you just want to have a little pity party and you just don't want to solve them? You like having the burden of those problems. And some people are also easily manipulatable, and they think they want something, and they think they should say they want something when they really don't. And if you don't, you don't. I can come up with all kinds of great benefits for living in New York City in an apartment. I could. I could come up with all kinds of goodness there. To me, the horribleness outweighs that, and the potential horribleness. I think there's a good argument for what are you afraid of? I would refuse to live my life in fear of this potential horribleness. There's a good argument for that. I'm just going to go live my life. Awesome. Own it. Own it. That's what I'm telling you to do. Maybe I'll title this video, Own It. Really sit down and decide what you want. Own that. Own this is my desires, my goals, my plan. And then go do it. Revel in it. All right. I am interested in your comments now. I will see you out there.